Coming up on Loyola News Chicago, Chicago pays condolences to Cardinal George. The men's volleyball team is looking to win another national championship. And Loyola Seniors are getting ready to graduate. You're not going to want to miss this.
From the Convergence Studio in the School of Communication, this is Loyola News Chicago.
Hello, and welcome to Loyola News Chicago. I'm Maria Shetkowski.
And I'm Greta Patrick. Here's today's news. Chicago's Catholic community is mourning its longtime leader. This week, Chicago has been saying goodbye to the late Cardinal Francis George. Lauren Smith shows us how Loyola is remembering the Cardinal and his legacy.
The Catholic community comes together to celebrate the life and service of Cardinal Francis George. Here at Loyola's Madonna de la Strada, students and members of the community came together to say their final goodbyes to the late Archbishop of Chicago.
I've always seen him be very kind, between the time I met him and what he's done for the Archdiocese of Chicago and what he's done for individual community members.
I felt that I should at least offer some prayers for him and say thank you, I guess, for his service. He had a very nice laugh and he had very nice things to say, and I could see that he was a really, really nice man, and I do feel kind of inspired by him to keep on the faith.
Cardinal Francis George served the Chicagoland community for 17 years and was the first Chicago native to become the Archbishop of Chicago. Lauren Smith, Loyola News Chicago.
George was 78 years old when kidney cancer took his life last Friday. He'll be buried in his family's plot at All Saints Cemetery in Des Plaines.
The funeral mass for Francis Cardinal George concludes 3 days of memorials for the former Chicago Archbishop. The memorials included visitations open to the public, prayers, hymns, and overnight vigils. The cathedral, blocks away from our studio, was visited by people throughout the Archdiocese and Chicago area to pay their respects to Chicago's former Archbishop. Cardinal George was the first Chicago native to serve as Archbishop of Chicago. He served for 7 years before he resigned this past November for health reasons. As Archbishop of Chicago, the Cardinal served as the president of the United States Conference of Catholic Bishops from 2007 until 2010. The Cardinal died last Friday after a long battle with cancer. Cardinal George was beloved by many and was seen as very traditional. We asked Brian Schmisek from Loyola's Institute of Pastoral Studies about the legacy of the Cardinal left.
He proclaimed a strong Catholic identity. Some people called it an evangelical Catholicism, so that he was really focused on issues of Catholic identity. And when he saw those that might be waning, he would typically step in and clearly demarcate what is Catholic and what isn't Catholic.
Schmisek noted that during the Cardinal's life, he was also motivated to serve the less fortunate.
Someone who reaches out to the poor and who wants to serve the poor. And that's what motivated him as a young priest, is that he wanted to serve the poor. And in many ways, that's central to the Christian mission, and it has a lot of affinities with the Jesuit mission, of course.
Cardinal George also left a legacy at the Loyola's Lakeshore campus, where he dedicated the St. Joseph College Seminary right across from the Mertz Residence Hall.
Paying for college and making a living is difficult enough, but it's particularly challenging for immigrants and undocumented students. Loyola News has more on these struggles. Many students use financial aid to help pay for college, but what happens when you don't qualify for financial aid? Katrina Lim shows us how Loyola's student body is trying to help these students out.
Alia is an international student who now goes to community college in Chicago with the help of a social security number. She received her social security card through a job at her school. Before she got her card, Alia faced many obstacles.
I couldn't get a rent apartment or any place. I cannot rent car or anything. I couldn't have family plans in T-Mobile.
Undocumented students cannot get a social security card, which means they do not qualify for federal financial aid. That's why the student government at Loyola Chicago and Loyola's Latin American Student Organization, or LASO, created the Magis Scholarship referendum to help these students pay for college. Loyola students passed it by a vote of 70% in the recent student elections. The referenda would add $2.50 to the student development fee at Loyola. Multiply that by 10,000 undergraduates each semester, well, you would get $50,000 available to students who do not qualify for financial aid. When trying to promote the Maja Scholarship Initiative, LASO's Suzelle Bautista says they often needed to clarify who undocumented students are.
The misconception is that undocumented students are Latino students, and that is not a scholarship that we wanted just for our Latino students, just because we're LASO. We wanted to create a scholarship for anyone who identified as an undocumented student.
Undocumented students can be defined as people with no written proof that they can live permanently in the United States. The scholarship hopes to help students like Alia who want a higher education but do not have access to the necessary resources. Katrina Lim, Loyola News, Chicago.
According to Student Government's President Michael Fasulo, the Finance Committee of Loyola's Board of Trustees will vote in December whether to implement the scholarship. And institutions from around the country have asked LASO how they could start something similar to the Maja Scholarship too.
Immigration reform is an issue that has long been debated in Congress. In 2012, President Obama issued an executive order for enacting deferred action for childhood arrivals that applies to undocumented young people who came to the U.S. as children. Adriana Unzueta reports on the impact this order has had on the lives of some in the Chicagoland area who qualify.
Anthony, an undocumented student, is meeting with an attorney to learn how to apply for deferred action for childhood arrivals, which will help him remain lawfully in the country. Young immigrants, such as this young man, could eventually get a work permit or even a driver's license through this executive order. Katia Guzman, who was in this boy's shoes 2 years ago, has recently benefited from the program and says it has made a big difference in her life.
It has helped me a lot because I was able to finish beauty school, being able to have a social security in order for me to graduate and obtain my cosmetology license.
Last summer, this place was on the verge of closing down, but thanks to deferred action for childhood arrivals and Katia's work authorization card, she was able to bring this place back to life.
Although Katia now has the ability to work legally, her mother, who owns a salon, does not because of her immigration status. She has had to find ways to work and help out, even if it is in the back room out of sight from the public. Katia has been left with the responsibility of running the salon on her own.
It was good and bad because I had the working permit and I was like running the salon on my own, but there was a certain point where I was on my own for everything. I was running the salon from Monday to Sunday, from 10 to 7 at night.
With an increasing number of young applicants, President Obama has recognized the impact deferred action has had on their lives. For further progress, he proposed deferred action for parental accountability to benefit parents of citizen children like Katia's mother. But this order was recently suspended and stopped, delaying Katia's mother and thousands of others the process of receiving their work permit.
I have many clients that have been here for decades that are the parents of adult U.S. citizens, adult legal permanent residents, and have been unsuccessful in obtaining their legal permanent residence. At the bare minimum, deferred action would bring them out of the shadows and would permit them to work lawfully.
Both Katia and her mother remain hopeful for the enactment of deferred action for parental appropriation, with hopes of finally being able to live comfortably in the country they call home. Adriana Unzueta, Loyola News, Chicago.
Deferred action for childhood arrivals remains in effect, but so is the court injunction against expanding the program to include parents.
April is Sexual Assault Awareness Month, and Loyola is doing what it can to raise awareness. The Wellness Center hosted a film screening of The Hunting Ground in Damon Cinema. The Hunting Ground is a documentary that looks at the ways college campuses handle sexual assault cases. About 80 people showed up for the screenings on Monday and Tuesday. Attendees think the film is important and that it's good that Loyola shows it.
I'm interested in learning more about, why, sexual assault awareness is become such a thing lately.
I just think it's great that there's sort of national attention on the topic.
I came to the film tonight because I think this is a really important issue on college campuses right now. I think it's important that students are aware of sexual assault. It's not a new issue on college campuses.
You might have noticed the life-size doors that have popped up throughout Loyola's campuses. They're also part of the Wellness Center's efforts to raise awareness for Sexual Assault Awareness Month. And Mats Vala shows us how the doors are making a stand.
The coordinated community response team at Loyola presents the Consent Doors. You might have seen them at the IC or the Damon Center and opened one of them to learn more on how we all play a role in preventing sexual assault. Senior health educator Stephanie Atella explains how the Consent Doors have been informing Loyola students.
I think that they've been very engaging for students. I've seen them kind of open up the door and be sometimes surprised by what is written on the other side. I've seen it spark some discussion.
The Consent Doors initiative brings together students, staff, and faculty to create a campus culture where gender-based violence of any kind is not tolerated.
People should have their eyes open to the other things that might be at play when engaging in sexual behavior.
The real-size doors are placed around Loyola's campuses. Inside the doors are writing informing students about how they can prevent sexual assault.
So how is the campaign working? Most Loyola students we talked to had noticed that something was different.
I think it's a really good initiative. I mean, personally, I haven't been affected by it, but I know people that have, and just having these as a symbol is just really nice, I think.
Which doors? Oh. Yeah, they're, I don't know specifically what they're for, but I guess just to raise awareness about sexual assault.
Yes, I think it's a cool metaphor and like representation of the door, so I like it. It's good.
The university has also made its very own mobile app, one of the first of its kind tailored to its local community. The I'm Here For You iPhone app connects students to gender-based violence services and resources on campus and in the Chicago area.
So we wanted to meet the students where they were at and give them a safe, private way to access information about our reporting options.
Loyola's app is currently available only for the iPhone, but the university is looking into an Android version. Mats Vala, Loyola News, Chicago.
Another event highlighting Awareness Month will be held tomorrow from noon to 1 at Federal Plaza at Dearborn and Adams in Chicago. It's called Standing Silent Witness and will feature volunteers wearing t-shirts bearing the stories of sexual assault survivors.
As the school year comes to a bittersweet end, Loyola's Water Tower campus hosts their yearly event to help students relax before finals. It was a beautiful day to have the annual spring block party. The Water Tower campus is known for having block parties at the beginning of each fall semester and at the end of spring semester. The block party gives students and staff a chance to eat free food and to sit outside with their friends. This year they had 5 local eateries such as Epic Burger and Blues to cater the event. In order to have this fun event, Loyola closes off part of Pearson and Wabash to allow enough space for students to enjoy themselves.
I think just like having all the food that like Loyola has to offer, like from the Lakeshore campus and like from down here, is kind of fun just to have like Felice's and Epic Burger and kind of like get everyone like having the community and the food. I really liked the food.
My favorite part is definitely the free food, because who doesn't love free caramel apples, and that it's really nice out today and it's just a really good day.
My favorite part was being able to come downtown for one last time and enjoy myself before stressing about finals.
My favorite part is the free food.
Whether you like it or not, finals week at Loyola is almost here. Julie Williams found out how the new schedule is affecting student stress levels.
Loyola students are already hitting the books, and finals week isn't even here yet. Students like Rachel Cullen know just how stressful the time leading up to finals week can be.
These last 2 weeks have been extremely stressful. I think more so because of the projects than the finals themselves. So I would say that stress has been really high, especially these past 2 weeks.
College students are used to how stressful finals week can be, but Loyola's new schedule means they'll have less time to get things done. Spring 2015 is the first semester that Loyola's finals week will go from Monday to Saturday. In years past, and even last semester, it went from Monday to the following Tuesday. That means students have less time to complete their final exams, and some students may face up to 4 exams in one day. To help relieve the stress, Loyola freshman Noelle Wands thinks it's important to take time to focus on things other than tests.
I make a list for myself, and I try to accomplish all those things on the list. And if I get halfway through, I'll sit and watch 30 minutes of YouTube or an episode of Friends or something to just make me laugh and get my mind completely off of what I'm doing.
The Information Commons will have extended hours during finals week, and only Loyola students will have access to the library. Students can also head to the Sullivan Center for help with tutoring if they need an extra hand. The schedule may be shorter, but Rachel and Noelle actually prefer it that way.
I would rather have my studying be in that week, so I would not want to have to study 2 weeks in a row. Usually, like last year when finals, and even last semester when finals were spread out over the week and a half, I felt more stress.
I would rather they be more condensed, actually, to just get them over with, because I like that more than spreading the stress out, kind of. That's how I see it. It's just like a week-long period of stress.
When the week's over, students can look forward to summer vacation and no more exams. For now, at least. Julie Williams, Loyola News, Chicago.
Loyola student government wanted the final schedule to be more flexible, but the university made the decision to condense exams. Students can look forward to the finals breakfast on Wednesday evening.
Studying for finals tempts some of us to turn on background music or do something else while working. But could this be doing more harm than good? In the world of iPhones and constant updates, it can be hard to focus on one thing at a time. A lot of students say they multitask all the time, sometimes even during class. Psychology professor Bob Morrison says that while you may think you're being more productive when you do 3 things at once, the truth is you're just wasting time.
You don't really benefit any by trying to do all those things at the same time, and because you're not. You're actually switching between them, even in very short order. And so you're actually going to get better value for your cognitive money by separating them out in time instead.
It's tempting to check your phone and email during your study times, but Morrison says that instead of distracting yourself, increase your focus by drinking something with caffeine.
Coming up on Loyola News, the NFL is coming to town and Chicago is going all out.
And we have more information on reactions to the golf cart that had a mind of its own at Loyola's Lakeshore campus.
I had a really good time tonight.
Me too.
Give me your wallets and no one gets her.
Sir, we don't want any trouble, please.
Empty your pockets.
Wow. Those knitting lessons really paid off.
A big victory for the men's volleyball team last weekend as they prepare for the MIVA Championships. Joaquin Carrick has more in sports.
Thanks, Maria. The 4th-ranked men's volleyball team easily defeated the 10th-ranked Ohio State Buckeyes in a 3-set sweep to end the regular season. Thomas Jeske led the Ramblers with 16 kills and 12 digs, earning him his 6th double-double of the season. In fact, just hours ago, Jeske was named the MIVA Conference Player of the Year for the 2nd consecutive season. The outside hitter led the conference in kills and aces per set and was 2nd in hitting percentage. He and Peter Hutz were named to the All-Conference First Team, while Cody Caldwell and Jeff Jendrick received 2nd team honors. The Ramblers begin their quest to repeat as MIVA champions on Friday when they host Quincy in the quarterfinals. The semifinals will take place on April 29th and the championship on May 1st. A former top 100 high school men's basketball player has transferred to Loyola from Big 12 tournament champions Iowa State. Point guard Clayton Custer will join the men's basketball team in 2016 after sitting out a year due to NCAA transfer rules. Once the third best point guard out of the state of Kansas, Custer played just under 6 minutes a game for the Hawkeyes, averaging just a point a game. He was named Kansas Gatorade's Player of the Year in high school after averaging 19 points, 4 rebounds, and 4 assists. Coach Moser says the signing is huge for the basketball program's growth. Football fans, the NFL draft is rapidly approaching. The first round begins on Thursday, April 30th, and the entire draft will be broadcast on ESPN. The Bears have the 7th overall pick, as well as the 39th. But apart from the high draft pick, Chicago fans have even more to be excited about draft day. The Windy City is playing host. For the first time in 50 years, the football world will converge upon the city, and Chicago is planning on putting on a show. Large helmets of every NFL team have been placed in Pioneer Court. The exhibit is part of Pepsi's promotion in which they plan to give away free tickets to the NFL draft, which, as I said before, is set to take place from April 30th to May 2nd at Roosevelt University. The space is set to host Selection Square, which is the main attraction where players will appear on stage for their interviews after being drafted. Grant Park will also be transformed into Draft Town, which will be the size of 15 football fields and billed as the hot item on the field. Grant Park will also be, yes. And there will be food, live music, player autographs throughout the event. Also for kids still aspiring to be NFL pros someday, there will be clinics on football fundamentals. It really sounds like a great time, Maria.
Definitely. I'm pretty excited to see how far my team, the Detroit Lions, are going to go this year, and I'll be sure to check out their helmet. Super Bowl champ 2016, calling it now. Thanks, Joaquin.
No problem.
Loyola is competing with 11 other campuses in the annual Bike to Campus competition. Tomorrow is the last day to participate in Chicago's Bike to Campus Week. All the bike rides taken from April 20th to the 24th count towards a win as the top biking campus in Chicago. You can photo share your bike trip on Instagram. The photo with the most likes at the end of the week can win bike gear. Loyola came in 4th place last year.
Last week, we brought you the story about the out-of-control golf cart on campus that had all the students talking. The incident was caught on camera and uploaded to YouTube. Since our newscast last week, the video has gone viral. It jumped from 300 views to more than 300,000 views a week later. Several local news stories also picked up the story, which added to its popularity.
I was sent the video over a Facebook message, and it only had like 6 or 7 views on it.
I found out because I was coming out of Damon and I saw it happening right in front of my eyes, actually, and I took videos as well.
I thought it was demented. I was terrified when I was there.
I would have seen it in person, and I think the 2 cops trying to put it down was probably the best part.
Luckily, nobody was injured in the incident, and it provided a good way to get a few laughs right before finals week.
Coming up in our Loyola News Extra, find out the delicious way one student prepares for her future.
And we'll hear some favorite Loyola memories from graduating seniors.
Life is full of distractions. Some are minor.
Crash, look who it is.
Others are more severe.
I got no pulse, so losing.
He's in vaping.
Shocking. Drives it road all the time. Just had a few drinks. Just can't be happening.
Are we clear?
Clear. We just buzzed. Just buzzed. You didn't tell us that, sir. You're right. This isn't happening. He'll be fine.
I feel good.
Really? No, not really.
Buzz driving. Clear.
Maybe we should stop acting like it's no big deal. Shocking.
Because of a new state law, Chicago could be seeing medical marijuana dispensaries as soon as this summer. Stephanie Buffamonte found out how some are preparing for the big debut.
For some people, marijuana is a recreational pleasure, but for others with certain medical conditions, it can be a necessity. Soon, some people will be able to buy medical marijuana in Illinois. Robert Kingsley suffered from kidney disease and has traveled to different states to use medical marijuana and relieve his pain. He decided to open a dispensary in Rogers Park to help others like himself.
When you live with this daily pain of that, and as you get older and you get more wise and you see the world as for what it is, you realize this is Quality of life is the most important thing we could have. And this will help them have a better quality of life.
While the exact location cannot be revealed just yet, here in Rogers Park there will be a dispensary opening within 2 blocks of this corner of Western and Devon. Brad Zerman is approved to open a dispensary in Oak Park.
We're going to be very patient-focused. I'm sure most of them will be also, but we'll have experienced people that know the products and know the relationships between the medicine and the different illnesses.
To prepare for the new law, a recent bud tending class in Chicago taught potential employees about the different types of marijuana to administer when dispensaries open.
What do they need? They need help with pain, they need help with sleep, they need help to be some euphoria. That's what they're listening for in their conversation to find out that cardholders' expectations. Then they can kind of guide them.
The 4-year pilot program is set to end in 2017. Most dispensaries hope to open doors this summer. Stephanie Buff-Monty, Loyola News Chicago.
Right now, there are 37 conditions that would qualify a patient for medical marijuana. The state's Medical Cannabis Advisory Board will meet May 4th to consider adding 20 more conditions to the list.
There's a sickness spreading through the streets of Chicago, but this time it's not infecting humans. Dog owners in Chicago are worried as there is an outbreak of the canine flu in the Midwest. The highly contagious flu has affected over 1,000 dogs and is even serious enough to cause death. Places such as dog parks are becoming unsafe as the contagious disease can easily spread. Symptoms include a high fever, runny nose, and coughing, very similar symptoms to the human flu. Experts advise owners against taking dogs to public places as a dog may be infected but not showing signs.
It's scary that your dog can get the flu from other dogs, like in dog parks and on walks, even if those dogs don't show symptoms. So you should basically quarantine your dog from anyone else because they could get it from anyone.
Attention to their dogs, as strange behavior may be early signs of the infection.
Jessica Edwards is here with today's Loyola News Extra, and everything she has to say sounds delicious.
Thank you, Greta. Now, Chicago is known as a food lover's heaven. In fact, it is home to more than 7,300 restaurants. All of those restaurants can make it hard to decide where to go for a nice meal, but there's one resource available to help you decide along the way. Online, you can find thousands of food blogs where people dedicate their lives to blog about food. You can find reviews of the hottest restaurants, recipes to make your mouth water, and all things health and nutrition. Most bloggers use it as a hobby, but for some big names, it's their sole profession, and they're making plenty money from it. And here at Loyola, we also have a promising food blogger in our midst. Jackie Gorman, a Loyola Senior, is already making waves in the foodie world with a great passion for food guiding her along the way. We often hear that breakfast is the most important meal of the day, but many college students go without their morning meal. Not Jackie Gorman. This Loyola Senior loves nothing more than a good breakfast, but more importantly, good food. Jackie has a passion for food, and she lives it every day through her own food blog called Sovereign Foodie. It combines Jackie's professional and personal interests, cooking and promoting a healthy lifestyle.
I love cooking with fresh ingredients. And I know that it's really tough as a college student to afford organic, fair trade. But if you just focus on much more fresh produce, less frozen pizzas, I guess, you're definitely on the right track to a healthier lifestyle, and you just get more connected to your food.
Jackie also runs Sovereign Foodie as an Instagram account to accompany her blog.
Essentially, food sovereignty is independence within one's food system. And that's really what anyone who's interested in sustainability in food needs to, define it as.
Resident Assistant Brittany Abraham says sustainability, healthy eating, and wellness are all compatible with Loyola's mission.
So at Loyola, we're really committed to sustainability, especially in the residence hall. So we work with the dining halls and their commitment to sustainability and the way that they prepare the food, really being transparent about what kind of food we're getting and what nourishment is in that food.
Jackie has cleverly used her online persona to help secure a job after graduation at a culinary tourism company. In fact, they are so impressed by her skills that Jackie is already running their official Instagram account.
It's been really fun, connecting with different magazines, connecting with different food bloggers that would be interested in our retreats. You can really understand a community through social media.
There's no doubt having her own blog made a great platform for marketing herself to future employers.
It's been really helpful in branding myself for post-graduation, and I hope others take the same kind of steps.
Jackie is proof that you can turn your passion or hobby into a career. And with those skills in the kitchen, I can see her going very far. Jessica Edwards, Loyola News Chicago. Jackie will graduate this May with a degree in Environmental Studies and Communications, Advocacy and Social Change. It's great to see she's already putting it to good use.
Oh, that food looked so good.
Oh, and it smelled so good when I was there as well.
It's making me hungry. Did she let you taste
Yeah,
some
taste
of it?
off, yeah, and she made my own. It was so nice. And I have the recipe for you, Greta, if you'd like that as well.
Ooh, yes, definitely. We'll talk later.
Thanks for that.
Thank you so much, Jessica.
In case you missed it this week, a frog, a dress, and a rainbow have made the news. A Kermit the Frog look-alike has been found in the rainforest of Costa Rica. Kermit and the glass frog have some freaky similarities from their green color, long, bendy legs, and big eyes. After New York received a large amount of rain, 4 rainbows stretched across the sky. This quadruple rainbow pictured went viral after it was posted on Twitter. People lined up in front of Target to shop the new Lilly Pulitzer brand. Within hours, the products were almost entirely sold out. According to Target, it was one of the fastest-selling collaborations.
Loyola seniors are getting ready to accept their diplomas, and Hope Salmon finds out their future plans.
Graduation is around the corner. We asked Loyola seniors what their favorite memory was during their time here.
I think freshman year, just living in the dorms and having that lounge aspect, so you can always go and find someone to hang out with.
I got to meet people from all over the world whom I never thought in my life I would get the chance to meet.
Studying abroad. I went to San Sebastian my summer of my junior year.
Whenever I see people that I know or I haven't seen in a long time, or whenever it's Monday and we're just getting back to work, or Friday, or I see people at the library, it's a sense of family and community.
We also asked students if they had any plans for after they graduate.
Well, I actually studied abroad in Tokyo, so I'm going to probably go back there and teach English and then join the foreign service.
Right now I'm looking for jobs. I want to work in like non-for-profits, that type of thing, in healthcare. And I do want to go back to school.
Ooh, I'm on to my next adventure. Now, I don't know what that is yet, but I know it's going to involve helping a lot of people.
I don't have any immediate plans. I'm just kind of exploring and kind of like figuring out, what do I do with this shiny new degree? You know?
Congratulations to all the Loyola seniors. Don't forget to go forth and set the world on fire. Hope Salmon, Loyola News Chicago.
Graduation ceremonies start Sunday, May 3rd and go through Saturday, May 16th.
Well, Greta, you know, we're both seniors, we're both wearing red, and it's also both our last time anchoring, and I'd have to say I've had a pretty good 4 years experience at Loyola.
Me too. I am going to miss this place.
Absolutely. Well, that's our news for today. Thanks for watching.
We leave you today with scenes along the beautiful Chicago lakefront from Loyola News photographer Lane Davis. Have a great day.